When I was a kid, I used to spend most of my time playing alone inside. Why? Used to enjoy being alone with my thoughts and playing with sharpeners and all the stuff that I could find in my room, living in my own imaginary world. Was less socialized person, couldn't speak for myself, overthinking about stuff, sensitive towards my own thoughts and people perspective towards me, so I avoided people as much as I could. As I grew older, I started engaging myself more with outdoor stuff like sports, traveling, hiking. That's when I discovered mountain biking. When I first found out about the price, I literally freaked out. Couldn't believe the price, but the joy and fun stuff you get to do made me wanted to experience same thing. I only started mountain biking when I was 22 and half year old. Until that age, I was still the same boy who loved staying alone in the room and don't bother being with people. Habit is something that doesn't go easily. Even after I started mountain biking, I couldn't pick myself to go out alone. I always had to be with someone else to go out. So what if? What if something happens and no one is there to help me? What if I cannot pull out of this situation? What if I had a bad crash? What if I hurt myself badly and no one is there to help me? Over the time, these what if have overwhelmed me, because of which I can't even go out and do what I love the most, which made me sad and anxious all the time, but no more. I definitely lack confidence. Confidence comes from experience. Experience comes from doing things outside of your comfort zone. Stepping out of your comfort zone, you make mistakes, and that's how we learn. To do things outside of comfort zone requires heart and mindset. That's what I'm doing. Putting my heart and mindset to go out as much as I can and experience things. Probably I was 10 or 11 when I first started learning how to ride cycle. That's when I had a nasty crash and made this crash mark on my left knee. But that didn't stop me from learning how to balance myself on two wheels. Since I didn't stop myself there despite of the pain and fear of crashing again, now I get to enjoy the beauty of going fast down on a mountain bike. The adrenaline rush is what I enjoy the most. So it have taught me that any sort of pain is just temporary and you have to enjoy the moment, not the past or future tense. Mountain biking means a lot to me. Why? Let's go back in time. Wait. Let's not do that freaking time warp things here, okay? Okay. Let's go. Fourth semester of engineering and I was already at the verge of dropping out, but the fear of failure and not having anything to lean back kept me on the system. Even though I had enough of the system, just wanted to leave college and do things that I love and it's meaningful for my life. I started asking myself these questions: what I truly want in my life. So after many sleepless nights and sad moments, I finally came to the conclusion of what I wanted in my life. Only three things came in my mind: filmmaking, mountain biking, and traveling. So I started making plans and finally started my operation Drop Out. What do I wanted to do after dropping out of college? Simply wanted to learn about mountain bike and the industry of MTB in Nepal. So started talking with people who were actually in the bike industry. That's when I met Santosh Rai. It was his greatness that he let me work at his workshop as long as I was willing to learn. He showed me that trust and I am very much thankful for that. So my plan was on go to drop out from college. Every day after college I started visiting the workshop and slowly started making this relationship with people around. Yes, I definitely had some hard time being around with the people at the workshop because I'm an introvert. Honestly, that behavior was downfall for me. If I ever wanted to learn something, I needed to change that attitude. If you don't ask, no one is going to reply, right? So really, with fear, I slowly started asking questions and started communicating more with people. Honestly, that was the most terrifying thing that I had to face in my life at the time. With time, I started communicating more and I started making little by little progress on my bike mechanic too. When everything was finally getting better day by day, that's when COVID happened. Up to this point, I managed to learn a few things about mechanics, but my skills shine mostly on bike wash. Because for 3 to 4 months, all I did was bike wash and bike parts. So whenever I was done with bike wash, I used to go inside and observe other mechanics working on the bikes, how they are repairing it, and mostly my job was to pass them the tools that they needed to repair the bike. Until this point, I was 70% sure that I wanted to drop out of college, but still 30% was holding me back. Then after a year, I think everything started reopening, so did the bike shop. So whenever I got the opportunity to go back, I used to, because I enjoyed being at the bike shop more than at the college. As you all knew, that situation was not ideal for everybody to go out, so the college were not sure to reopen or not. That's when they freaking decided for online classes. That's when my 30% dropped down to 10%, because online classes was by far the worst experience I ever had in my educational life. But online classes came as blessing for me. It may not look like blessing for others, but it was for me. I now knew what I wanted in my life. Having a degree and making a career out of it was difficult to swallow. So there I was, all ready to drop out. Then you start asking yourself, what if your family don't like you right here? But you are doing it for yourself. So just trust the process and you have everything sorted out. And 90% tells you to go out and face this thing so-called life. So there I was, going silent again, but this time it was against my parents and college. Honestly, dropping out of college was one of the scariest things I ever did in my life. I wasn't sure if I would get what I wanted in my life. Since after dropout, people are going to see me as a failure, especially in my family, because my family members all have good educational background and they all have good jobs. Definitely me dropping out freaked out many people, and many even tried to convince me to go back to college, but the idea of going back to college for silent classes were less convenient for me than to be with people who really loved and were really passionate about mountain biking. I stopped thinking what others have to think about me, and that things will be fine if I keep doing what I want and love. But honestly, if somebody would have warned me how real world works, then I would have definitely prepared myself better. But I learned a lot of things in a hard way, and that I'm thankful and glad that I had to go through all the suffering and hardship. But nobody enjoys going through sad and lonely moments. You just overthink all the time. Overthinking is not a habit, but it's something that is within me. I used to think too much about the future and be anxious all the time. Riding a bike have helped me to stay focused at the moment, while mountain biking, some trail sections are so technical that looks really scary looking from up. You may crash trying few times, but when you get it right only one time, that confidence automatically builds up in you, and next time you can easily do it. Because funny thing is, your mind and body remembers the joy of achieving success on such difficult looking technical section. Mountain biking constantly tells you to focus on breathing, body position, where your tires roll through, where it can roll through. Eyes up, hold the handlebar, foot on the pedal, knees bent, and freaking enjoy the wind breeze on your face and beautiful downhill. Before you even try, your mind constantly tells you, don't think, just do it. I would say, if you are someone who overthink a lot like me, definitely should try cycling, cause it helps you calm your mind. That adrenaline rush is what I enjoy the most. At the end, all I wanted to say is that I love riding because it's like therapy to me, and it have helped me to enjoy life and taught me the lesson that you will fail or crash in life, but that's okay. As long as you are willing to get up and ride the bike again, it will be just fine.